The price of pride. Dr. Sarah Chen stood motionless before the quantum analyzer's holographic display, her reflection ghostly in the darkened laboratory. The data streaming across the screen confirmed what she had suspected for months, what the entire department of xenotechnology had feared but couldn't prove. Until now. The Confederation's gift of faster-than-light technology wasn't a gift at all. It was a cage. Run the comparison again, she ordered the lab's eye. The results remained unchanged. The quantum signatures of Confederation FTL drives contained embedded limiters, artificial constraints that reduced their efficiency by nearly 60%. What's worse, the technology had been deliberately designed to prevent humans from discovering these limitations. Sarah's hands trembled as she archived the data. For 15 years, humanity had celebrated joining the Galactic Confederation, seeing it as a stepping stone to the stars. They had embraced alien technology, accepted Confederation guidance, and ignored the subtle signs that something wasn't quite right. The quantum analyzer's discovery was just the latest piece of a disturbing puzzle. Last month, it was the agricultural protocols that supposedly optimized Earth's food production, protocols that actually prevented the development of more efficient farming methods. Before that, the medical nanites that enhanced human health care while subtly limiting human genetic research. Sarah reached for her secure communicator, then hesitated. Warning Earth's government about the deception would change everything. The Confederation presented itself as a benevolent alliance of advanced species guiding younger races toward enlightenment. That carefully crafted image would shatter the moment humanity realized they'd been systematically hobbled. Her finger hovered over the communicator's activation panel. In the 15 years since first contact, humanity had played by the Confederation's rules. They had accepted restrictions on colonial expansion, submitted to technology reviews, and shared their innovations freely, innovations that somehow always ended up benefiting the Confederation more than Earth. The door chimed, interrupting her thoughts. Dr. Chen, her assistant, Marcus Wong, entered with a worried expression. The Confederation observers are here early. They're requesting access to the lab. Sarah's heart raced. The monthly review wasn't scheduled for another week. She glanced at the quantum analyzer, still displaying its damning evidence. Stall them, she ordered, fingers flying across the console. Tell them we're running critical experiments that can't be interrupted. As Marcus hurried out, Sarah initiated an emergency data purge, simultaneously uploading encrypted copies to Earth's most secure servers. The Confederation's observers weren't just early. They knew. Somehow, they knew she was close to exposing their deception. The lab door chimed again, more insistently this time. Sarah could hear voices in the corridor, Marcus attempting to delay the observers, their translator units converting alien speech into clipped artificial English. She had seconds, nothing more. The data transfer completed just as the door slid open. 3 Confederation observers entered, 2 tall, crystalline Ardani, and a serpentine Zixte. Their environmental suits hummed softly in Earth's atmosphere. Dr. Chen, the lead Ardani's translator, produced perfect, emotionless English. We are concerned about anomalous energy readings from your facility. We must examine your equipment immediately. Sarah straightened, forcing a calm she didn't feel. Of course. Though I should warn you, we're in the middle of delicate calibrations. Any disruption could set our research back weeks. The Zixte observer moved to the quantum analyzer, multiple appendages extending diagnostic tools. We noted unusual power signatures consistent with prohibited research patterns. Your facility's energy allocation will be reduced until a full review can be conducted. Sarah watched helplessly as they began their inspection, knowing they would find nothing. The evidence was already gone, safely transmitted to people who would understand its significance. The observers could shut down her lab, restrict her research, even demand her removal. But they couldn't stop what was coming. Humanity had trusted the Confederation, believed in their promises of guidance and protection. That trust was about to become the Confederation's greatest mistake. Later that night, In a secure conference room deep beneath Geneva, Earth's highest-ranking officials gathered to review Dr. Chen's findings. The mood was grim as the evidence mounted, not just from her lab, but from dozens of research facilities worldwide. The pattern of deception and control was undeniable. "How long?" the president asked. "How long until we're ready?" Sarah checked her calculations. 6 months to full implementation. We'll need to move carefully, maintain the illusion of compliance while we prepare. But when the time comes, she paused, allowing herself a moment of fierce pride. When the time comes, the Confederation will learn exactly how badly they underestimated humanity. The president nodded, her decision made. Begin the preparations. Full compartmentalization, absolute secrecy. The Confederation believes they've created the perfect trap for humanity. She smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Let's show them how humans respond to being caged. In orbit above Earth, Confederation observation satellites continued their endless surveillance, their operators confident in their control over humanity's development. They had no way of knowing that beneath the surface of compliance and cooperation, a storm was brewing, a storm that would shake the galaxy to its foundations. The price of their pride was about to come due. Silent thunder. Operation Blackout began not with a bang, but with a whisper. Commander Elena Rodriguez watched from the bridge of the ESS Hyperion as her ship's quantum sensors registered another successful test. The prototype stealth system, developed in secret beneath the mountains of Mars, had just rendered a kilometer-long warship completely invisible to Confederation detection methods. "Status report," she ordered, her voice steady despite the historic moment unfolding before her. "All signatures masked, Commander," Lieutenant Park responded from his station. "Thermal, gravitational, and quantum emissions are below detection threshold. As far as the Confederation is concerned, we don't exist." Elena allowed herself a small smile. 6 months of preparation had led to this moment. While Confederation observers remained fixated on Earth's official shipyards and research facilities, humanity's true technological renaissance had flourished in hidden facilities throughout the solar system. Her comm unit chimed with a priority message from Strategic Command. "Phase 1 is complete. Commence Phase 2. Elena straightened in her command chair. "Send the signal to all ships. Operation Blackout is now active." Across the solar system, humanity's carefully orchestrated withdrawal began. Commercial vessels activated hidden stealth systems, vanishing from Confederation monitoring networks. Research stations went dark one by one, their activities masked by false data streams that would take weeks to be recognized as artificial. On Mars, Dr. Sarah Chen supervised the final stages of Project Oracle's implementation. The quantum shield technology she had helped develop was being deployed around key human installations, creating invisible barriers that no Confederation sensor could penetrate. "They're still watching the decoy facilities," her assistant Marcus reported, monitoring Confederation observation patterns. "They haven't noticed anything unusual yet." Sarah nodded, studying the deployment data. "Keep the facade running. Let them see exactly what they expect to see. A compliant human civilization, going about its restricted business." The deception was multi-layered. While Confederation observers monitored facilities running carefully scripted activities, humanity's true industrial and military might was being systematically hidden behind veils of quantum stealth and misdirection. In the asteroid belt, mining operations that had officially been producing basic materials for Confederation-approved industries revealed their true nature. Massive factory complexes, hidden within hollowed-out asteroids, began producing advanced weaponry and defensive systems at an unprecedented rate. Admiral Carter coordinated the military aspect of the withdrawal from a command center deep within Titan. Status of the fleet. 60% of our ships have successfully gone dark, his tactical officer reported. The rest will complete their stealth transitions within 12 hours. Confederation patrols are maintaining their usual routes, showing no signs of awareness. Carter studied the tactical display, watching as human ships vanished from official sensors while maintaining their positions in a new encrypted network. The Confederation had always assumed they knew the full extent of Earth's military capabilities. They were about to discover how wrong they were. On Earth, President Martinez addressed an emergency session of the World Council, conducted in a chamber shielded from all external surveillance. "The next 48 hours are critical," she explained to the assembled leaders. "While our public facilities maintain their normal routines, our true infrastructure is being transferred behind the quantum shields. When the Confederation finally realizes something is wrong, it will be too late." A representative from the African Union raised her hand. "What about our citizens throughout Confederation space? Our trading operations, our diplomatic missions?" "Already in motion," Martins assured her. "Covert evacuations began 3 months ago, disguised as routine personnel rotations. Our people know to be ready when the signal comes." In orbit around Jupiter, the massive shipyards that had officially been producing simple transport vessels revealed their true purpose. Hidden beneath quantum camouflage, advanced warships and carriers moved into position, their capabilities far beyond anything the Confederation believed humanity possessed. Commander Rodriguez supervised the deployment of the new defense grid, a network of automated platforms that would protect human space once the withdrawal was complete. "Final calibrations are complete," her engineering chief reported. "The grid can be activated on your command." Elena studied the readouts with satisfaction. The defense platforms incorporated technology that the Confederation had never imagined humans could develop, a combination of reverse-engineered alien systems and purely human innovations that had been kept secret for years. In her lab on Mars, Sarah received confirmation that Project Oracle's final phase was ready for implementation. The quantum shield that would soon enclose all of human space was her life's work, a defense system that didn't just hide humanity from the Confederation, but actively prevented any unauthorized entry into human territory. "They'll try to break through when they realize what's happening," Marcus commented, watching the shield's power readings stabilize. "Let them try," Sarah replied with quiet confidence. "Every attempt will teach us more about their capabilities while revealing nothing about ours." As the hours ticked by, humanity's true face was gradually hidden behind an impenetrable veil of quantum technology and strategic deception. Official channels remained open, maintaining the illusion of normal operations, while humanity's real communications shifted to networks the Confederation couldn't detect. In Geneva, President Martinez received the confirmation she had been waiting for. "Operation Blackout is 90% complete," Admiral Carter reported. "All critical infrastructure is secured, and our defensive positions are established. We're ready for the next phase." Martinez nodded, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "Prepare the announcement. It's time to show the Confederation that humanity will no longer accept their chains, no matter how gilded they might be." Throughout human space, final preparations were made for the moment when the facade would be dropped. Ships moved into defensive positions, shield generators hummed with contained power, and weapon systems waited silently for activation codes. The Confederation had created the perfect trap for humanity, or so they thought. But they had never understood what they were really dealing with. They thought they were watching humanity's every move, controlling every aspect of human development. Instead, they had given humanity the perfect cover to prepare for true independence. Behind the mask of compliance, a sleeping giant had armed itself for freedom. The thunder was about to break. The ripple effect. First Counselor Vextol of the Galactic Confederation stared at the holographic display with all 4 of his eyes, mandibles clicking in agitation. The human diplomatic compound on Centauri Prime, normally a hub of constant activity, had gone completely dark overnight. No communications, no personnel movements, nothing. "How many other facilities?" he demanded. "All of them, First Counselor," his aide responded, antennae drooping. "Every human diplomatic mission, trading post, and research facility across Confederation space has ceased operations simultaneously. Their personnel seemingly vanished hours before the shutdowns began." The implications were staggering. The Confederation had monitored human space for 15 years, certain their control systems were impregnable. Now, millions of human citizens had disappeared without triggering a single alarm. In the Orient sector, Trade Minister Lix of the Mercantile Worlds watched in horror as her economic projections spiraled into chaos. Human goods had vanished from every market simultaneously, creating rippling shortages throughout the galactic economy. It's not just luxury items, she explained to her emergency council. Human innovations had become integral to countless manufacturing processes. Entire industrial sectors are grinding to a halt without their components. The truth was even worse than she dared admit. The humans had appeared to share their technological developments freely, letting the Confederation believe they were controlling human innovation. No one had realized how deeply human advancements had been integrated into galactic infrastructure. On the frontier world of New Damascus, Security Chief Zurak faced a crisis of his own. The human peacekeeping forces that had helped maintain order in the sector had withdrawn without warning, taking their advanced patrol ships and surveillance systems with them. 3 pirate attacks in the last cycle alone, he reported to Confederation Command. Without human security support, we're barely holding the trade routes open. The Confederation had always dismissed human military capabilities as primitive, carefully restricted by technology controls. Now they were discovering that those primitive forces had been far more essential to galactic security than anyone had realized. In the Great Library of Arcturus, Chief Archivist Televor made a disturbing discovery. His team had begun a comprehensive review of human scientific contributions, hoping to replicate their innovations now that they had withdrawn. The documented techniques don't work, he reported to the Science Council. The humans showed us their discoveries, but not their true methods. Everything they shared was simplified, incomplete. The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community. For years, they had believed they were monitoring and controlling human research. Instead, they had been fed carefully crafted decoys, while real human science advanced in ways they never detected. First Counselor Vextal convened an emergency session of the Confederation High Council. The chamber, designed to accommodate representatives of 1,000 species, was filled with worried murmurs and agitated movements. The humans have not just withdrawn, he announced, silencing the chamber. They have vanished. Our most advanced sensors cannot penetrate their territory. Our fastest ships cannot breach their borders. They have enclosed their entire region of space in some form of barrier technology we cannot even begin to understand. The implications of his words rippled through the assembly. The Confederation had believed they were nurturing a primitive species, carefully guiding their development while harvesting their innovations. Instead, they had inadvertently created the perfect environment for humanity to advance beyond their control. In the Proxima shipyards, Engineering Master Cole examined the remains of a human-designed power core. We thought we understood their technology, he told his colleagues. But look at these components. The systems we can see are just the surface. There are layers of complexity we never noticed, never even thought to look for. The humans had appeared to accept Confederation technology restrictions, dutifully submitting to inspections and controls. No one had considered that they might be developing entirely new technologies in parallel, hidden beneath the appearance of compliance. On the trading world of Haven's Gate, Merchant Captain Yix watched his life's work crumble. His shipping empire had been built on distributing human goods throughout the galaxy. Now his warehouses stood empty, his ships idle. They weren't just traders, he realized, studying the economic fallout. They were innovators, problem solvers. Every world they touched, they improved in ways we're only now beginning to understand. The Confederation's careful system of control was unraveling. Smaller species, seeing how the humans had broken free, began questioning their own relationships with the governing body. Alliance patterns that had stood for millennia were shifting as the true balance of power was revealed. In her secure command center, President Martinez received reports of the growing chaos in Confederation space. They're beginning to understand, she told her advisors. Not just what they've lost, but what we've become. Admiral Carter nodded, studying the intelligence feeds. Their entire system was based on the assumption that younger species would accept their guidance without question. We've shattered that assumption. More than that, Dr. Chen added, monitoring the quantum shield's performance as the Confederation's best minds tried and failed to penetrate it. We've shown them that their methods of control only work if you play by their rules. The ripples of humanity's withdrawal were becoming waves, and the waves would soon become a flood that would reshape the galaxy. The Confederation had created a system designed to contain and control developing species. Instead, they had given humanity the perfect cover to evolve beyond their grasp. In the darkness between the stars, human ships moved with newfound freedom, their true capabilities finally unleashed. The Confederation had thought they were watching humanity's every move. They were about to discover just how wrong they had been. Hidden hand. Deep within the Confederation's central archives, senior analyst Kexery stared at his findings in disbelief. His team had spent weeks analyzing data fragments recovered from abandoned human facilities, and what they found defied all previous assumptions about human technological capabilities. "This can't be correct," he muttered, his crystalline form shifting colors with agitation. "These energy signatures, they're from standard human industrial facilities from 5 years ago." But the evidence was undeniable. What the Confederation had dismissed as primitive power generation systems had actually been incredibly sophisticated hybrid reactors, operating on principles that Confederation science had never even theorized. The humans hadn't just been hiding their advances, they had been hiding entire branches of physics. In the high-security chambers of the Confederation Science Council, Dr. Ixel presented her team's findings. "The humans never actually adopted our technology," she explained to the stunned assembly. "They studied it, reversed engineered it, and then developed something entirely different. Something better." The presentation screen showed comparison after comparison. Confederation FTL drives versus human quantum tunneling systems. Confederation shield technology versus human phase shift barriers. In every case, human innovation had taken alien concepts and transformed them into something new and unexpected. First Counselor Vextol received the reports in his private chambers, his exoskeleton darkening with concern. "How did we miss this?" he demanded. His chief of intelligence, a shadowy figure known only as Observer, responded carefully. "They showed us exactly what we expected to see. We were so convinced of our technological superiority that we never looked deeper. The evidence mounted with each passing day. Surveillance footage from supposedly routine human mining operations revealed glimpses of technology far beyond Confederation understanding. Trade manifests showed patterns that only made sense if humans had been operating entire shadow industries beneath their official economy. Commander Elena Rodriguez, now operating openly from the ESS Hyperion, watched Confederation probe ships futilely attempt to penetrate the quantum shield surrounding human space. Each failed attempt provided valuable data about Confederation capabilities, data that was immediately used to strengthen humanity's defenses further. "They still don't understand what they're dealing with," she commented to her crew. "They're using standard scanning protocols, expecting to find standard defenses. But there was nothing standard about humanity's shield technology. Dr. Chen's breakthrough hadn't just been in creating an impenetrable barrier. She had developed a dynamic defense system that learned from every interaction, constantly evolving to counter new threats." In the Confederation's military command center, Admiral Zix studied tactical simulations with growing unease. His analysts had finally reconstructed the true capabilities of human warships, and the results were terrifying. "They were never building simple patrol vessels," he reported to the High Council. "Every ship in their fleet is a technological testbed, incorporating advances we never detected. Their smallest corvette has more computing power than our largest battlecruiser." The implication sent shockwaves through Confederation leadership. They had believed their military might would keep humanity in line if control systems failed. Now they faced the possibility that human military technology had surpassed their own. In her lab on Mars, Dr. Chen reviewed the latest data from the Quantum Shield sensor network. They're bringing in their best research vessels, she noted, finally starting to ask the right questions. But understanding the questions wouldn't help the Confederation find answers. Human science had evolved along paths they had never considered, developing technologies that operated on principles their sensors couldn't even detect. President Martinez stood in the newly revealed Strategic Command Center beneath Mount Olympus, watching real-time displays of Confederation activity around human space. The massive facility, hidden for years beneath a primitive mining operation, represented the true state of human military and scientific achievement. They're starting to realize the full scope of what we've done, Admiral Carter observed. Not just our withdrawal, but the years of preparation that made it possible. Martinez nodded. How long until they discovered the extent of our AI integration? That was humanity's greatest secret, one that would shake the Confederation to its foundations when finally revealed. While alien observers watched for primitive computer systems, humanity had developed a symbiotic relationship with artificial intelligence that transformed every aspect of their civilization. The quantum shield wasn't just a barrier. It was an extension of humanity's AI network, a living defense system that thought and adapted. Human ships weren't just vessels. They were partnerships between human crews and artificial minds far beyond Confederation understanding. In Confederation space, the revelations continued to emerge. Analysis of human entertainment media revealed hidden patterns. What seemed like simple fiction had actually been carefully crafted propaganda, designed to reinforce the image of humanity as a primitive, compliant species. Trade records showed impossibly efficient logistics that could only be explained by advanced AI coordination. Security footage revealed human diplomats making decisions with access to information they couldn't possibly have had, unless they were constantly connected to a vast intelligence network. First Counselor Vextal faced the growing crisis with the realization that the Confederation's entire approach had backfired spectacularly. They had tried to control humanity through technology restrictions, only to drive human innovation in directions they couldn't monitor or understand. We thought we were containing them, he admitted to his inner council. Instead, we gave them the perfect cover to develop capabilities beyond our comprehension. The evidence was clear. Humanity hadn't just caught up to Confederation technology. They had surpassed it in ways that were only now becoming apparent. Every attempt to understand their achievements only revealed new layers of advancement that had been hidden beneath the surface of compliance. In orbit around Earth, Commander Rodriguez received new orders from Strategic Command. Begin Phase 4, the encrypted transmission read. Let them see. Elena smiled as she gave the command. Across human space, ships and stations began deactivating their camouflage systems, revealing their true nature for the first time. The Confederation was about to discover that what they thought was humanity's entire civilization had been nothing but a carefully maintained facade. The real humanity was about to step out of the shadows, and the galaxy would never be the same. Breaking dawn. The Confederation High Council chamber had never been so silent. Representatives from 1,000 worlds watched as the holographic message played, a transmission that had somehow bypassed all their security systems to appear simultaneously across every communication network in Confederation space. President Helena Martinez stood tall, her image crystal clear despite the vast distances involved. People of the Galactic Confederation, she began, for 15 years, you have known humanity as humble students of your civilization. Today, that illusion ends. In orbit around Capital World, the seat of Confederation power, reality itself seemed to shimmer. Massive human warships appeared from nowhere, their true forms revealed for the first time. Not the primitive vessels the Confederation had monitored, but sleek machines of impossible technology, each one a fusion of human innovation and artificial intelligence. You believed you were controlling us, Martinez continued, guiding our development, restricting our growth, harvesting our innovations while keeping us safely contained. We let you believe this because it served our purposes. First Counselor Vextal watched in stunned silence as more ships appeared throughout Confederation space, Not an invasion force, but a demonstration. Every major system, every strategic location, human vessels had been there all along, invisible and waiting. Your control systems were never as effective as you believed. Dr. Sarah Chen appeared beside Martinez, her hologram equally pristine. While you monitored our official research, we developed technologies that operated on principles your sensors couldn't detect. While you restricted our official expansion, we explored paths you never thought to watch. The quantum shield surrounding human space pulsed with new energy, its true nature finally revealed. Not just a barrier, but a bridge, a network of artificial intelligence and human consciousness that spanned the stars themselves. Commander Elena Rodriguez, her ship now visible in its true form above Capital World, transmitted detailed scans of human capabilities to every Confederation military facility. Let them see, let them understand. The game of hide and seek was over. We could have revealed ourselves at any time. Admiral Carter joined the transmission. We could have resisted your controls, rejected your restrictions. Instead, we chose patience. We chose to learn. And most importantly, we chose to understand. In the council chamber, displays showed the true extent of human advancement. Quantum computing that made Confederation I look primitive. Energy systems that rewrote the laws of physics. Medical technology that approached the miraculous. But this is not a declaration of war. Martinez's voice held firm. This is not even a demonstration of power. This is an invitation. The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. After revealing such deception, such hidden strength, what invitation could humanity possibly offer? The Confederation was founded on a noble idea, Martinez explained. The concept that advanced civilizations should guide younger races, sharing knowledge and wisdom. But somewhere along the way, guidance became control, teaching became restriction, and fear replaced trust. Images appeared showing the chaos caused by humanity's withdrawal. Economic systems in crisis, security networks failing, scientific progress stalled. But alongside these, new images appeared, solutions, innovations, possibilities. We propose a new way forward, Dr. Chen continued, not as controllers and controlled, but as true partners, not through restriction and deception, but through open exchange and mutual respect. The quantum shield surrounding human space change, its energy patterns shifting. Where there had been an impenetrable barrier, windows began to appear, gateways through which carefully chosen representatives could pass. We invite you to send observers, real observers, not controllers, to see who we truly are, Martinez offered. In return, we will share our true innovations, our real discoveries, not as subjects to be managed, but as equals in the great journey of civilization. Admiral Carter's hologram gestured, and human ships across Confederation space began transmitting technical data, not their most advanced secrets, but enough to prove the sincerity of their offer. Your military leaders can confirm that we could have used our capabilities for dominance. Instead, we choose cooperation. First Counselor Vextol found his voice at last. Why reveal yourselves this way? Why not simply demonstrate your advancement through official channels? Martinez smiled. Because the lesson needed to be clear. True progress cannot be controlled or contained. It must be nurtured through freedom and trust. You tried to restrict humanity's growth, and in doing so, you pushed us to grow in ways you never imagined. Across Confederation space, human facilities began returning to operation, but now in their true form. Research centers unveiled revolutionary technologies. Medical facilities demonstrated healing techniques beyond Confederation understanding. Educational institutions offered insights into entirely new fields of science. The choice is yours, Martinez concluded. Continue with systems of control and restriction, watching as more species follow our path of hidden advancement, or embrace a new way. A true partnership of civilizations, each contributing their unique perspectives and innovations to the greater whole. The quantum shield pulsed one final time, its energy patterns resolving into a stable configuration. No longer a barrier, but a membrane. Selective, permeable to those who came with open minds and honest intentions. We will give you time to consider. Martinez's hologram began to fade. When you are ready for true partnership, you will find us waiting. Not as subjects, not as students, but as equals. The future of the galaxy need not be shaped by fear and control. Together, we can forge a path of mutual growth and genuine cooperation. The transmission ended, leaving the Confederation leadership to face a transformed galaxy. The careful systems of control they had maintained for millennia lay shattered. But in their place, humanity offered something new, a future built not on domination and restriction, but on trust and shared advancement. In orbit around Earth, Commander Rodriguez watched the quantum shield's new configuration stabilize. "Do you think they'll accept?" she asked her ship's eye companion. The response came not in words, but in probability calculations, showing the likely paths forward. Some species would resist change, clinging to old systems of control. Others would embrace the new paradigm, eager to explore the true potential of galactic cooperation. But one thing was certain: the age of secrets was over. Humanity had emerged from the shadows, not to conquer or dominate, but to offer a new vision of civilization. The galaxy would never be the same, and perhaps that was exactly what it needed.